I mean, I encountered this myself, taking a look at homeowners insurance.
Yeah.
Homeowners insurance is going up, to say the least. We paid ours. I was like, ow! Oh, it hurts. Make it stop hurting. And a lot of Americans are starting to ditch their homeowners insurance to try and make ends meet. About 40% of us Americans own their own homes, and about 12% of those people now have decided that they're going to ditch their insurance. That according to the Insurance Information Institute. So 12% of Americans no longer have homeowners insurance, and that is the highest level of homeowners or uninsured homeowners that has ever been noted. This year's figure is up 5% from 2019, and it all has to do with higher premiums and people trying to make ends meet, and they're looking at that and going, food on the table, paying the mortgage, or if they own it outright, paying the car payments, putting the kid through school, and they see it as optional, which to me is kind of surprising, but that's the story. Let's talk about it this morning. He is the CEO of National Claim Negotiators, a public adjusting firm that works with people that, well, are trying to get claims. It's Ron Snauford rejoining us on the wake-up call. Ron, thanks for being with us this morning. I would imagine when you saw that particular number of 12%, that made you scratch your head a little bit.
It's pretty staggering. I mean, I wouldn't want to take that risk, that's for sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess these people that are doing this are thinking that they're just going to take their chances. If something does happen to their house, major, whether it be, like the ice storm that we had in January, where big branch comes down, takes out part of your roof, or whatever, they're going to be on the hook for it. They really have no recourse than to pay for it themselves.
That's correct. We're seeing it across the country. No matter where you live, there might be some kind of catastrophic event. Whether you have smoke coming in from Canada or floods in Iowa, Nebraska right now, or mudslides in Ruidoso, New Mexico. And Florida's about to be hit with their first hurricane of the season here in the next 7 to 10 days. Doesn't matter where you live, there's a possibility that some catastrophic event is going to hit you.
What should these people be doing if they're looking at their insurance and saying, okay, I'm getting to the point where I can't afford to do this because of other things? I mean, what recourse do they have? Can they negotiate with the insurance company on their rates, and does that ever work?
Not really negotiate with your insurance company, but you can shop rates with multiple different carriers. One of the easiest things to do is find a broker who sells for multiple different carriers and have them look at all your options, what coverages you might have, what your premiums are going to be, and compare those apples to oranges and make sure that you're getting the best dollar for your buck.
What's driving the increases?
Cost of construction. Inflation has gone through the roof in the last 5 years. The cost of materials, the cost to get materials to the job site, the cost of labor have all gone up drastically in the last 5 years. And because of those factors, it costs a lot more to build a house, which means rebuilding the house or rebuilding a property. Those are the big factors.
How much does risk factor into it? Because we've seen some areas, like, for instance, in California, because of the wildfires, where insurance carriers are going, yeah, we're not carrying insurance there. We're not taking on any new customers and things like that. How much is risk have to do with it?
Well, I think we've always had risk associated with damage. We've always had wildfires. We've always had tornadoes, hurricanes, so forth. But the fact that the cost of construction has gone up so much, that's what insurance prices are based on, is how much it's going to cost to rebuild that property. And if it's going to cost, I mean, I bought my house in 2019 and it's doubled in price in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
My insurance has gone up 60% over that same period of time.
Wow.
All has to do with the cost of construction.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about, what you do, which is you're a claims negotiator. For folks that have insurance and they need to have insurance cover, whether it be from, like I said, our January ice storm that caused havoc throughout the area, or maybe it's a fire, or maybe it's a flood, insurance companies don't make money on paying off claims. What can they do to make? What can the average consumer do to make sure that insurance covers what they've been paying for it to cover and cover it in a timely manner?
It's always good to get advice from a public adjuster. And public adjusters are consumer advocates for property owners. We only work for property owners versus an independent adjuster. They work for the insurance company. Like if the IRS was going to audit you, you'd want your own CPA versus having the IRS do your taxes for you.
Right.
Same thing on this side when it comes to insurance. Public adjusters only work for property owners.
So is there, can you give us a number of, I guess you would call it, the advantage of using a negotiator over negotiating yourself in terms of payouts? In other words, if you use a claims negotiator, you're going to get 20% more than you would if you were just doing it yourself or something like that. Can you put a number on it?
It's a great question. The National Association of Public Insurance Adjusters has done some research on that, and you're always going to come out better using a public adjuster than you would on your own, because we know the rules of the game, and most consumers don't, and they don't have the time or the patience to negotiate back and forth with an insurance company to make sure that they're fully indemnified from any claim that they had.
All right. Anything else you want to leave us with before we let you go, Ron?
Once again, if you're having an issue with your insurance company, it's always good to get a second opinion. Like I mentioned a minute ago, the National Association of Public Insurance Adjusters has PAs that have been vetted across the country. It's a nonprofit organization, and they can help look at your policy and determine whether or not you have damage associated with your claim.
All right. Ron, thanks for joining us on the Wake Up Call. We appreciate it.
Thank you.